Hello, Wasatch fourth graders. This week and the next week, Mrs. Lee is going to teach you the shading lesson. I gave you, teacher, two exercise sheets for this. One looks like this, and the other one is the half sheet of construction paper. Now, today, you are not using this. Okay, so teachers, you can save this paper for the next week. Okay. And this week, we're going to take care of up to that circle. 1, 2, 3 portions right there. Okay. Now, I have to apologize that there is extra line that goes on right here. That vertical line is not supposed to be there. It's just the Wasatch copy machine did that. So just ignore that line. Okay? All right, well, let's get this started. The first thing you do is to write your name right here above that straight line so that your teacher can collect them at the end of today's lesson, and she can pass that out again for the next week. All right, go ahead and take care of that. Now, when the name is on, now here comes the first challenge. The first challenge is right here, that top square. Okay. I need you to shade it as smooth as you can. Okay. Here's my example. Right there. Okay. So that's what you're doing. Okay. And so all you need for this lesson is just a good old wooden pencil. Okay, the mechanical pencil is not going to work. So get your pencil out and get ready to shade. But before you start though, I have to show you a good example and bad example. So the key to the success is same direction. Okay, so it really does not matter if you're going shading up and down like this. Okay, and you don't have to go all the way across all the time. And if your line goes out a little bit out of the square, that's totally fine. Okay, you can do it up and down like that. Or you can decide if you want to, you can go left and right like this. Or if you want to, you can even go diagonal like that. Keep it all the same direction. Okay. Here comes the bad example. Okay. Now on this bad example, you just keep changing your minds. You start it up and down, then you go left and right, and then you go diagonal. And if you do that, that's not going to be as smooth as you want. Okay. Here comes the extremely bad example. Hey, Mrs. Lee is not watching. I'm just gonna go like this, and like this. Hey, hey, hey. And she'll never know because I'm going to cover it up anyway afterwards. Okay, but guess what? That's not going to disappear. Everything you put on will show. So don't go crazy like this. Don't keep changing your mind. Stick with the same direction. All right? So pause the video and go ahead and start the first challenge right there. Okay, the next challenge is that strip. Okay. Now this is pitch dark and we're going to leave this, the far right rectangle, white. So don't touch that one. Okay, and we will make it gradual. Right there, from here to there. Okay, the hardest one to do is this right here, this right next to the pure white one. Oh, that one's so hard. You got to do it so soft. Okay, and then you can just put a little bit pressure, and then this is very light. That's normal, little bit darker and very dark. And if you want to, you can even make that one pitch dark. Okay, so that's what you do. Now, at this point, I want to introduce the first two of the three keywords that you have to remember. First keyword is smooth. Remember, we tried to make that first square so smooth. Okay, now I actually need you to write the word smooth somewhere on this exercise paper. I'm just going to write it right here. Okay, go ahead and write that. And the second keyword is what we're going to use for this strip exercise. It's gradual. You have to change the shade gradually from light to dark or dark to light. So go ahead, write the word gradual. Okay? All right. Okay, now I'm going to give you the third keyword a little bit later when I start the circle. Go ahead and try from this end. Don't start from that end. Try from this end and make it forever light and light and light and smooth like that. Now, if you accidentally made it too dark for the first shade, I'm going to allow you to use the eraser to just lift up the pencil mark and make it lighter, and then just keep going, darker and darker. Okay, go ahead and start and pause the video and try it. All right, the third challenge is that circle. That circle has to end up looking like this one. Okay, see how it is like three-dimensional? It's like a ball at this point. Now this, I drew the cast shadow right here. Now that's an extra thing that you can do, or you don't have to do. If you want to do the shade, you can just fill it in just like that square. Okay? If you run out of time, you don't have to do that. We mainly just focus on that circle itself. Okay, so here comes the third keyword right here. Write that down. It says follow the shape. Follow the shape. Okay. Now, things that you have to shade is not always square or rectangle. Sometimes it's circle, or sometimes it's totally random shape. So when you shade those random shapes, you still have to follow the shape. I am shading the circle from here, and the light source comes from this direction. Right? So what we will do is we start out from the darkest side, which will be right there, okay, right by the cast shadow, and then try to make it smooth. Remember, smooth, and follow the shape. Remember, follow the shape, and gradually make it lighter and lighter, and right about there. We're not even going to touch it. So let me show you my finished example. Okay, darker at this end, gradually changing, making it lighter, and I'm constantly following that shape. So your white part needs to stay round at the end. All right, now before you start, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you do this wrong. Okay, these are bad examples, so don't do this. Okay, now first one, I'm going to just pull this up so I can just show you the first one only. Okay, now you remembered on this, you remembered to follow the shape. Okay, you started doing this right, and your direction is correct. And then you even remembered to go gradually lighter. And then you forgot. You forgot to follow the shape, and you start going boop-a-boo, 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 like that. And then look at the end, your white part is not showing round. Now be careful, this happens to most of the people. It happens all the time. Okay. The second bad example is you started out. Everybody starts out correct. You started out perfect. And then you even remembered to go gradually lighter. And then you followed the shape all the way to the end. But you forgot one thing. You forgot which direction the light is coming from. So at the end, your white part is facing the wrong direction. Okay, this is another common mistake. All right, the third mistake is this one. Okay, now this is kind of obvious, isn't it? You follow the shape, you started out right, you remember the direction of the light, but what did we forget here? Gradually easing, you just went all the way to that light size, which is the pitch dark shade, and then your drawing ends up like panda bear. Okay, black and white. So these are 3 common mistakes that I see with my students all the time. Don't do any of these. These are no-nos. Okay, and remember that, and remember 3 keywords, and then go ahead and try to finish that circle. Okay. Now I'm going to leave my good example for the last screenshot so that you can pause the video and then look at it anytime. All right, we'll stop right here, and I will pick up the second part of the shading lesson next week. Thank you for watching.